My tripod is so busted from another one of the videos that I've been working on. And it's just, I don't know if it looks bad in the video. I'm gonna have to take a look while I'm editing, but it just, from here, it's all kinds of crooked and it just doesn't look right at all. Here we are taking a look at Renfield, directed by Chris McKay and starring Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult. Now, of course, Renfield is the name of Dracula's assistant in the original story by Bram Stoker and all of the movies, as far as I know. Now, I've never really even thought of a story being told from the perspective of Renfield. It's such a clever idea, and especially to set it in the modern day, I really enjoy that. And that's exactly what this movie is about. This movie is about Dracula's human assistant, this Dracula's familiar, as they put it, and just following basically his daily life. But then Renfield, of course, gets caught up in this kind of in the mob, I guess, in this city. I don't even remember. I think it's in New York. But basically Renfield gets tied up with some bad people, and it just makes for a really interesting film. And overall, this movie is really entertaining and it's really funny. I love Nicolas Cage. Typically, there's a few movies I've seen where Nick Cage went a little bit too much, and it kind of took away from the majority of the movie. But I do think that Nick Cage and Nicholas Hoult did fantastic in this movie. I love their dynamic in this film. I haven't seen much of Nicholas Hoult's stuff, but I'm very happy with what I've seen in this movie, and it made me interested in checking out more of his stuff in the future. I feel like Nicolas Cage is such a genius casting for Dracula, but you never really would have thought of it, I don't think, until you see it, and I feel like it works really well. I don't know. There's a lot of common themes about narcissism and escaping toxic relationships, and there's a lot of group therapy sessions in this movie with Renfield, kind of trying to talk out his problems with people going through very real toxic relationships and stuff like that. And meanwhile, his toxic relationship he's in is with a vampire, and I really love how those scenes play out every time. And I really liked the characters in the therapy sessions, with their stories and everything. You got to know them, and it was it was a good time. This entire movie's really funny. I loved the writing in this movie. It worked so well, and this movie also has Ben Schwartz, who is a hilarious actor. If you're familiar with his work in maybe Parks and Recreation or something like that, he's a very, very funny actor, and he is great in this movie. There's a lot of gore in this movie, but I don't feel like it's too much. I have mentioned gore in previous movies. I don't really know where I draw the line between gratuitous and just enough, but I like gore in my movies, but I don't like too much. I don't know what too much is, but I think with whatever this movie had going on, it wasn't too much. It was a really good amount. It was a lot, but there was something strange about the blood and violence in this movie, and the blood was very, very orange. It was just an odd color, and there was a lot of blood and guts and everything, but it looked off. And I don't know if that's an homage to older films that that had gore and the blood was a different kind of color than how it should have been, just based on the effects. But there are a lot of homages to at least the original Dracula film, to the point where they recreated a lot of shots from the original Dracula, to a T, but replaced the actors with Nicholas Hoult and Nick Cage. I thought that was awesome. I loved that. I love callbacks to original movies, either in remakes or in reboots or whatever it may be. I really do enjoy stuff like that. Overall, I would like to give this movie an 8 out of 10. Just like the last movie. I really enjoyed it, and I couldn't really put my finger on things I would have done differently other than what I had mentioned primarily with the blood and making that different color. Maybe I would have added a little bit more horror to it, But overall, I mean, this is a really entertaining movie. Now for spoilers, I really enjoyed the ending with the whole, it was set up earlier with like a protection circle or whatever they called it, where they freeze Dracula in this kind of like, I don't know what you call it, kind of like, I guess, circle, and he wouldn't be able to escape it. It would be some sort of like magical spell. And I really love what they did with that in the ending. I totally didn't see it coming, but they trap him in this circle, and then they use like the rest of the ending to like torture him. And it's not even like certain if it's to death or not. They just torture Dracula for like hours, and they like cut him up into small pieces, and they like blend those pieces into like a paste, and then they like put him in concrete or something and ship him all over the world or something like that. And like, it's like, we don't even know if Dracula died from this, but if he is still alive, it's going to take him a really long time to come back together, something like that. And I just thought the whole thing was really, really funny, and I think it wouldn't be nearly as funny if Nicolas Cage wasn't Dracula. Like, Nick Cage being Dracula really made the entire movie just that extra bit more like entertaining for me. But that was Renfield. Very short review, just like the last one. Again, like I said, these two movies I have seen, like, I saw like a month ago, but I've been so behind on my videos that I just need to get these reviews out so I can continue making other videos. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. What did you think about Renfield? If you liked it, if you didn't like it, let me know in the comments. If you haven't liked and subscribed already, please do so if you want to see more content like this. I've been Sean from Atomic Productions, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.